up, Suns fans? Suns get the second win in a row against the Portland Trailblazers. Final score, Suns 116, Trailblazers 109. Easy win, easy dubs. It's another win in the basket. Suns get the win. Again, it's beautiful. Suns basketball is fun again. I mean, a win's a win. I'll take it, but I guess it's a little concerning that these are wins against pretty bad teams because, it doesn't really prove anything other than it's just another win. But, getting a win is much better than taking a loss to Utah or Trailblazers. The Suns community would simply break if that happened. But luckily, they play Phoenix Suns basketball as Devin Booker led the charge with 28 points tonight. I'm wearing his jersey. I feel like this is just a pretty simple cut and dry game. Devin Booker was able to go out there and play his game. The Trailblazers, they're competitive. They're young and they're fast enough to at least compete. Things got a little bad there in the third quarter. I literally had to step away from the game just to take holiday photos, and I come back and the game's tied. I mean, I didn't freak out that much about that. I've just become to the point where, I've been such a Suns fan for such a long time over these past few years. I'm just kind of numb to it. I don't really care anymore. I even predicted that they were probably tied knowing how this game was going. But, I mean, that just normally happens when KD is 1 of 9 from 3. So it's a combination of Kevin Durant just having a terrible 3-point shooting night, and also Royce O'Neal for that first quarter, he was 0-3. It was a combination of that led Trailblazers to come back. As Kevin Durant definitely had most of the offense tonight, especially around him. And he just continues to show he is definitely a difference maker on this team. As literally that first quarter, Suns blasted the door wide open. Book, KD looked all amazing. And then KD steps away in the second, and our offense starts to struggle. Yeah, that's we're definitely going to need some changes in that department. But even though KD was not on it tonight, he still dropped a nice 20 points. And he was able to knock down 1-3 eventually. But he still did 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Just another nice night for us Suns fans. But luckily, while KD and Royce was having a bad night, we luckily had other people to pick up the slack. So I already mentioned Devin Booker. He had a pretty great night. But I want to mention just Tyus Jones. Holy crap. I can't stop gushing about this dude. He's just so awesome. 19 points again tonight, and he only missed one shot. He was so effective in that first half with his floater, and throughout the game, he was able to expand on that with his 3-point shooting, which he was 3 of 3 in. So he only missed one shot the entire night. 4 assists, 2 turnovers, and he had 4 rebounds. I mean, if anything, I know a lot of Suns fans are talking about Beal being traded right now. The only thing I would like if we did move Beal, I would like if we could go and re-sign Tyus. Because we wouldn't have Jimmy Butler that long. I believe he's an expiring contract. So he would be here for only a year if we don't re-sign him, which would open a lot of cap space because we're off Beal's contract. I'm not saying we should go do that, but, it's definitely an option down the road. Because, please, just bring this man back. He is so good on this team, and it's just really nice seeing him play his game out there. So, Tyus Jones, just a really nice night. And was definitely one of the highlights of tonight. I mean, pretty much all of our starting lineup had a solid night. Royce O'Neal did start the game out cold, but he did come back in that second half and he swished 3 threes. And he ended up the night looking really great. So, again, he's not beating those streaky allegations. He is still a streaky shooter, but he was able to overcome it in one night. Speaking of overcoming things, Jusuf Nurkic is back, and I know a lot of us are a little shifty on him, but tonight he proved it. One thing I have neglected to mention over these past games is that I feel like Jusuf Nurkic has been really instrumental during our closing games. As during our 8-1 start to the season, I thought it was a very overlooked thing of the duo of Jusuf Nurkic and Kevin Durant. They just always seem to have this kind of chemistry going during that final fourth quarter when we very much need a kind of closing performance from both of them. So KD has obviously gotten most of the spotlight because he's KD and he's been clutch. But Yusuf Nurkic is definitely a little unappreciated, I would say, in that aspect, as he played pretty great in that fourth quarter. He had a double-double on tonight, 10 points, 14 rebounds. He was pretty bad the rest of the game. But, I mean, that's the thing about Yusuf Nurkic. But also, he had 5 turnovers and 4 personal fouls. So that's great. Yeah, that's our starters. Starters looked really solid tonight. If we're taking a little look into our bench here, I would say Grayson Allen is the only one that sticks out that has this, that consistently is having a solid night. He had 12 points off of the bench. Strangely, oh my god, I did not know this, but he had 4 and 13 from the field tonight. He had 4 of 9 3-points. I don't remember watching him shooting like that, but Grayson Allen, I felt like he was an overall positive every time he was out there shooting those threes. The other guys also just played with some great energy tonight, featuring our duo rookies, right? Ryan Dunn and Oso had some nice plays, nice energetic plays. Monte Morris was also a great energy off the bench, and it was just overall contributed to a very nice night. And I also like how, as the season has gone on, Mike Boltenhauser has definitely going with more deeper into their bench. Even though Josh Okogie and Oso, they played 9 minutes combined, it was still nice seeing them out there. I mean, Josh Okogie, the 3 minutes he was out there, he was able to get a steal and a slam, which is just crazy. So, I mean, I like it. I'm glad Mike is definitely digging in more into his bench as the season goes on. It's definitely something I was advocating to see more of. But yeah, just an absolutely solid night. Almost precarious situation there in the third quarter as we got beat in rebounds, got beat in assists. We just could not mainly defend their pick and roll actions down in the paint. As the paint defense is still something the Suns struggle with. And honestly, it's the biggest problem the Suns have is their interior defense. I mean, I'd probably relate this to our 3-point problem that the Suns are having, where like any team who's been having a bad 3-point history, case in point, the Utah Jazz, who is not known for their 3-point, then we got in a dogfight with them last time. I think a huge majority of that is that the Suns just are so small that we're going up against so many teams with strong centers and players that could really go down into the paint, that we are overhelping down in the paint, leaving the arc wide open. We've got a lot of great perimeter defenders, but they can't do their job because they're overhelping in the paint. I mean, while I would love Jimmy Butler on this team, I just still don't think it solves most of our issues, as we still have to be crowding and overhelping in the paint, which is really bad when you're going up against players like Kat, Giannis, just those really good centers in the league that are on fire right now. So I'd prefer if we could get an upgrade down center. I believe that's the biggest problem here with the Suns that they're having. That's basically it for tonight. It's just a nice, good win. We don't move up in the standings. We still stay in 8th, as we're currently tied with the Minnesota Timberwolves, 14-11 on the season. And we have another break here in the days. So we will see you back here Thursday, December the 19th, when the Phoenix are still at home against the Indiana Pacers. That one should be really interesting, as Indiana is struggling right now. The just matchup between Kevin Durant and Pascal Siakam will also be interesting to look at. I'm a little nervous about that game, just the way seeing how Indiana can be really fast and play high team basketball. But I mean, I think they've had center problems mostly this season, and that's what kept them below that 500 mark. So maybe we have an advantage in that. So that will be very interesting to see. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say here. We're keeping this one short. The Suns got a win. It's very nice. We'll all sleep well, and let's just keep chugging along. It's trade season, fellas. Scary times, and it will be interesting to see where that goes and where the Suns will go, mostly during that. Remember, if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and comment. It does help out the channel, and we'll see you all here Thursday again once the Suns take on the Indiana Pacers. So we'll see you then. Adios, fellas.